Well, you already left 6 messages. All day long, I'm getting call after call after call.
Wow.
That Jonathan Larson. I can't wait to see what he does next.
What do you mean?
Too arty for Broadway. Tourists aren't gonna shell out $50 to see a show about spaceships. Listen, sweetie,
Rosa.
I got a...
I'm sorry, Rosa.
Congratulations on a terrific presentation.
So what am I supposed to do now?
Make another musical?
You start writing the next one. Just keep throwing them against the wall and hoping against hope that eventually something sticks.
You can see that pains her because she knows he is talented.
On the next one, maybe try writing about what you know.
Hey, I need a job.
Okay, can you hold on a
I
second?
need a job.
Apologize to that focus group lady.
What's going on?
Oh, it's good. It's good. I just spent the last 8 years killing myself on a musical that's never gonna happen. I can't stomach 5 more years of waiting tables, 5 more years of writing things that no one will ever see. God forbid, something to actually say about the world.
It would be a tragedy to give up what you have. Do you know how many mediocre actors there are in New York City? Do you know how many Jonathan Larsons there are? You are not running out of time.
You don't know anything about it.
I'm HIV positive.
Oh, fuck.
How long have you known?
A few days. I might get lucky, people do. Live a year, longer even.
This is inspiration for Angel.
Why didn't you tell me sooner?
That's why they said Angel at the beginning of the movie.
You tried. We were 8.
Oh.
I think of high school. All the shows we did together. Is this real love? One day, we were gonna move to the city together and find a cheap apartment.
That's how he touches so many people. It was
I
through
think
true emotion.
The first summer back from college. Friends. So many. I think of their funerals. I think of their parents. Is this real life? The ticking is so loud now, I can't hear anything. I want it to stop. I want it all to stop. I couldn't sing. I said, no one cares. We sang, what a way to spend the day. Got parts in West Side at White Plains High. Mike played Doc, who did not sing. Fine with him, we sang. Am I cut out to spend my time this way? I'm gonna spend my time this way. There's a support group. It's called Friends Indeed. I just
I knew the second half of this I was gonna be a wreck. It's the guy, it's the guy!
To speak with you after the reading, but I just wanted to say it was really good as a future. And so do you.
He believed in him for so long.
Okay. Meanwhile, be proud.
I told Freddie. He's pissed off at your agent.
Shit.
He should be going home soon.
really?
Yes. Yes.
She's like, whoop. It's gonna turn.
I really wanted to be there. I just...
Susan. I know.
It's too hard for her.
I decided to take the job.
They really do love each other.
really
It's just
didn't
their
have to,
dreams are taking them in different directions. Oh. For the next one.
For the next one.
I don't think I could cry for another 20 minutes.
Goodbye, Jonathan. The next one was Tick, Tick, Boom. After that, he went back to a project he'd started and put away. It changed the definition of what a musical could be. What it could sound like. Night before Ren's first public performance, he died from a sudden aortic aneurysm. He still had so many questions.
some pain, oh why make an accident before the truth gets through? Why should we blaze a trail when the well-worn path seems safe? Can we see the dismay?
Oh my god, that was good. That was fucking good.
Ask the birds, fear or love, baby, what does it take to wake up a generation? We don't wake up and shake off the nation. Why would we rather put ourselves through hell? Why does it take catastrophe to start a revolution? If we're so free, cages or wings, which do you prefer? Ask
she
the
did
birds. Actions speak louder than
Make a wish.
Oh my god.
Can't be found. I finally open. Come to your senses. Don't know what to do to get through.
She always comes in when I'm crying. She knows, right? I hope. Well, I don't hope, actually. That was terrible. Well, I was gonna say I hope y'all are crying, like, as much as I am, but I don't want anybody to cry and be sad. But I do want you to be inspired and moved. We're gonna do a deep breath in through the nose, 3 seconds, out through the mouth, 4 seconds, if I can, because I'm really stuffy. There you have it. Tick, tick, boom. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was incredible. I thought it was such a beautiful, beautiful homage to his life and his accomplishments. The way that they filmed it, how they cut between his musical and his real life and the world that he was in his mind when he was coming up with these songs and these scenes that he was writing. It was just so brilliant. The transition between them was so smooth and so natural and so fun. It really made you feel like you were a part of this process. It made you feel like you were in his head. My favorite one was definitely at the diner where he just pushes the wall and comes out and like, oh, that was so awesome. Where he's in the pool, he sees all the musical notes, but the diner was definitely my favorite. It was just so unique and so clever, and it's so him. Andrew Garfield sounds absolutely amazing, down to every single little move, like how he moves so quick and the way he says things, and he had his voice down pat, he had his personality down pat. Oh my gosh, did he do the role justice. I think they perfectly casted him. Everybody else in the movie, absolutely fantastic. Susan was brilliant. I love Vanessa Hudgens. Trying to showcase every person, especially when they were all lined up. His name is Roger, and I laugh because Roger is one of the characters in Rent. Rogers by Joshua Henry. Why do I know him? In the Heights. He was fantastic. His voice was amazing. As much as I love Rent and as much as I love Jonathan Larson, I had never seen Tick, Tick, Boom until I did the reaction to the trailer. And then I started looking up videos. People were commenting, oh, you should check this out, you should check that out. And so I started looking up videos of his and watching them. And I was like, this is brilliant. This is so amazing. This is so awesome. This is so fun. It's Jonathan Larson. It's so him. He's so unique. You know his work when you see it. And so I didn't know any of the music that was in this. I didn't know any of the songs. And it felt like I was watching it felt like Rent, only not Rent, just different. His songs are so unique, and there's just a certain kind of charismatic way about the lyrics that he writes and how he flows them into the next lines and how he emphasizes certain parts and the facial expressions he does when he says them. And it really adds, it's the whole performance. It's not just the song, it's not just watching him, it's everything about him and everything that he puts into it, which is his entire heart and soul and being. It's just, oh my gosh, his work is so amazing. So I just absolutely loved these songs. It's hard to pick a favorite, but the last one I think had to be my favorite one, because he takes all of these little pieces of papers that he's writing down in his notepad of all these little sayings and things that he keeps hearing, and he takes them all and he puts them into one song. I've always been one for quotes. I've always loved good quotes, inspirational quotes, and quotes that make you think. I've always loved them. And that's basically what the song is, when he's fear or love. And it's in the thumbnail right here. Wings or a cage, which would you prefer? Ask the birds. I loved that one. I really did. And I think how they incorporated real footage and real pictures and the real story in the beginning and the end was so brilliantly done, because it's very hard to have a movie take people out of the movie to just like remind them about what they're seeing or talk about something completely different and then bring them back into the movie. It's very difficult to do that without being cheesy or being kind of weird or feeling uncomfortable. And the way that they did it with the voiceover and the timing that they chose to incorporate those things was just so perfect. Even at the end, when they're doing all the flashes in the audience of the faces that have impacted his life and inspired him, everybody that's always been there for him, the guy who gave him the first constructive criticism came back to his playing, came back to the final performance of Tick, Tick, Boom, and all this stuff like that he gets to just share with all of them is just so beautiful. And then in the midst of that, they flash or they tell us what had happened to him. They flash a picture of Ren, a real picture of the actual cast, and it was just so perfect. I loved how they did it. I absolutely loved how they did it. I'm not kidding. This isn't a personal attachment to Jonathan Larson or to Ren. This needs to be nominated for an Academy Award, and if it is not, I wouldn't be surprised, but it's gotta be. It has to be nominated for an Academy Award. This 100,000% one of the best movies that I have ever seen, and one of the best musicals that I have ever seen. It is, wow. I cannot. I seriously want to watch it again. Like, I just want to sit here and do the whole thing over. I just want to watch it again. It was so amazing. With all of that said, if you did not know, Jonathan Larson, now you do, did pass away. He, unfortunately, as they said, the night before the first live performance of Ren, he had an aortic aneurysm. So it was sudden. It wasn't even something that they knew was coming, or like he had a sickness or an illness. It was boom, for lack of a better word. And he never got to see Ren performed. He never got to see Ren performed. And I like to, it makes me so sad, because if he knew what that turned into and just how it affected people to this day, I don't think he would ever imagine that his life would be turned into a movie starring Andrew Garfield on a streaming service called Netflix, because Netflix wasn't real back then, wasn't around back then. But at the same time, I think he did, because that's all he kept telling people throughout the whole movie is, I am going to be a brilliant writer. I am a brilliant writer. I'm going to make a great musical. I have ideas. I have thoughts. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this musical. This is what I'm destined to do. I might have some doubts and I might lose myself along the way, but I always come back to this. This is what I meant to do, and I know it. I know it. I feel it in my heart. So I think that even though he didn't get to see the first performance and he didn't get to know what it turned into, that it astronomically changed the entire Broadway musical industry forever. It's very heartbreaking. But at the same time, he did at least get to know that it got that far and that it had that start, and that he did make something. He always made stuff that people could relate to and loved and really appreciated. So I'm glad that he knows that it at least got that far. But yeah, it's really heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking that for someone to devote their life to all of that. And it's interesting because, as I was saying, that his friend Michael is definitely the inspiration for Angel in Rent. And if you're not familiar with Rent, if you haven't watched Rent, go watch it. Oh my gosh. The Broadway performance, of course, is fantastic, but the movie is actually fantastic as well, because they incorporated every single original person from the musical, aside from, pretty sure it was Joanne and Collins. I know it was Joanne for a fact. I remember reading an article of her saying that when they went to make the movie, the person making the movie wanted to incorporate all of the people from the original musical to do it justice, which I think is freaking amazing. People take notes. And they asked her to be in it, but she had felt that at that point she was too old to play Joanne. And because she also agreed that she wanted to do the justice for the musical, she opted to step out of the production, which I think is really something. That's freaking awesome, because you love and care about this content so much, and you know how important it is to people. You don't want to ruin it. You want it to be perfect. And because she was already older than everyone else when the play was happening, if that was what she wanted to do, then that's what she wanted to do. And honestly, we got a brilliant actor in Rent for Joanne. So, but anyway, my point is if you haven't seen Rent, please go watch it. Oh my gosh. Again, the original musical performance is fantastic. And the movie adaptation, the movie is fantastic as well. His friend Michael is definitely the inspiration for Angel. There was, oh my God, the whole thing was littered. I was trying to point them out or like give little smiles and laughs when they were doing it, but everything, it was just so much fun watching that. Like even the answering machine, the beep where you're screening his calls. Like I know you're screening your call. Mark and Roger are always screening their calls. I even, when it was like beep and then they leave the message, I even said speak, because that's what their voicemail is. And then I couldn't tell if that was him saying speak or if it just like the beep buzzed out funky and it's just sounded like speak, and that's what gave him the idea for it. But I guess that's the point. It's like you're supposed to notice these little things that you notice from the musical because they came from him. They came from his life. And it's just, oh, all right, I'm gonna stop talking now because I need to go relax, get some dinner, hug Robbie. This was a brilliant, fantastic movie that I absolutely loved, and I highly suggest this. And of course, I highly suggest Rent. Thank you, Jonathan Larson, for everything that you have ever done. And thank you for everybody that believed in him and inspired him. And I'm so happy that we have this amazing movie. So thank you. Everyone throw a like up or dislike if you do or do not like what you see, but comment down below. Let me know why. Subscribe if you have not yet. We do fun things here. Ring-a-ling-a-ling the bell to be notified when I upload new videos. Don't forget to check the link down in the description for my Patreon. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at @star_chef_productions. But that is it. So long, everyone. Try and make someone smile today. You never know when you might need it next. Bye. I didn't even do that right. I'm like, Oh, that was so good.